Yes, so YouTube is now banning all anti-vaxxers. What is this?
You're an anti-vaxxer.
What is this?
Hey, you know what? Before we jump in there, I've got a trivia question for everybody.
All right.
What do people call Superman?
The Man of Steel.
Yes, well, you know what people call Palmetto? The Men of Steel. Palmetto Steel, everybody.
That's great.
These guys march around like Marine soldiers, carrying steel, bending it, building stuff, drilling holes through long pipes. I mean, they truly are incredible. And the most important thing is they're rated to have the highest quality steel manufactured in the U.S. There's less particles in there. You know, that's what sunk the Titanic. Was imperfect steel. That's why they determined that the iceberg was able to cut through the hull.
Okay.
The steel was defective. It had a lot of ore in it.
Not with Palmetto State steel.
Palmetto steel that have been sailing on to New York, baby.
Yeah, so contact them. It's on your screen.
I want to go to this place. I want to go see their factory.
South Carolina, right?
Yeah, well, they're the Men of Steel, and they know it better than anybody. So thank you, Palmetto.
Phone number and emails on screen.
What are we talking about today? Anti-vaxxers?
Oh, goodness. Yeah, so we have a whirlwind for you. So YouTube is now banning all anti-vaxxers, not just COVID.
Okay. First question. Who in here is vaxxed?
3 or 4. That's not bad. 75%. We're doing pretty good for Alabama.
So, look, let's not get into that right now. But what
you can get into whatever you want. I'm not budging, by God.
What I will say is,
I know more about biology than the three of you put together.
So if you
That's why I didn't get a fucking shot.
If you don't want to get vaccinated, I'm not even talking about COVID. I'm talking about if you're anti-tetanus, if you're anti-flu, if you're, I don't care what it is. If you post and your title says, I don't like the vaccine, it's coming down. So
and they're calling it misinformation.
Yeah. We got some footage on this, so let's roll it.
YouTube says it has had enough of vaccine misinformation on its site.
Well, the company is taking down anti-vaccine videos and banning major accounts because it says it needs to, quote, remove egregious, harmful content. NBC News senior reporter.
Okay, before we get into this, I don't think anti-vax, talking about it, no vaccine is egregious. That's a very harsh word.
It is so over.
Brandy Zadrowski joins us now. Brandy, thanks so much for being with us. What was the final straw for YouTube? Why is the company acting right now?
Yeah, anti-vaccine misinformation has always really thrived on YouTube. Really for over a decade, anti-vaccine.
Yeah, I mean, so that's a good question. That's a really good question.
We go to YouTube to find
my question is, you're a video platform, and look at the background.
Yeah,
just saying.
She's got a Facebook book.
That's why
she don't even have a mic.
You're getting me all mixed up. What? So
she's running.
She works for YouTube, but has a Facebook book.
To go with to answer your question, Brooks. No, I've never gone to YouTube to look up about anti-vaxxing ever. So what does she mean by thrive? I have no idea.
And do you really think that's keeping people from getting the vaccine?
No.
Like, is that why people around here are not getting it?
No, people aren't getting it.
I'll tell you exactly why people are not getting it.
But some people are getting it because they don't trust the government.
I'd like to hear
and they
your
don't want to
story.
go get a shot that doesn't really protect them.
Yeah.
That protects you from the original virus, not the variant. That's why people don't want to get the shot.
Sure, about COVID, yeah, but this is about all vaccines in general. I mean, this is saying you don't...
No, it's not. It's about COVID. Come on, Jerry. Get real.
Have moved there after traditional media decided to no longer cover them. And the content was actually so rampant that pro-vaccine advocacy organizations, they were actually forced off the platform.
Forced off? Yeah, someone was forced off the platform because they were...
Oh, no.
Is that really true? I think we're twisting words here.
as far back as 2008. So the difference now is obviously COVID. YouTube explained it to me in a blog post, and they said, this is a quote, "We've steadily seen false claims about the coronavirus vaccines spill over into misinformation about vaccines in general, and we're now at a point where it's more important than ever to expand the work we started with COVID-19 to other vaccines."
So
expand the work we started.
So COVID-19 has spawned a discussion about every single vaccine. Is that what we're saying?
Chicken pox.
Is that what we're saying?
It's not even just about COVID.
You know what
it's about
rhymes
all
with
vaccines.
vaccine? Smoke screen. That's all that is. It's a smoke screen. They're not after the things for measles and mumps. That stuff's gone.
So yeah, no, I'll agree with you.
After COVID shots, it's Pfizer's behind this.
I'll agree with you. I mean, look, I'm vaccinated, and I don't. But the fact of the matter is, this is ridiculous. I mean, this really is ridiculous.
It's also about giving more control.
I just
having
think
more control and being able to control all the videos on YouTube.
I just think if you want to learn about something, that if you want to learn about not being vaccinated, you go to an anti-vaxxer. If you want to learn about being vaccinated, you go to someone that is vaccinated. And if you're muting either parties or then it's totally skewed. You don't get information from it.
Well, number one, the COVID vaccine does not fit the classic definition of a vaccine. It is not a vaccine. All right? A vaccine takes an actual part of the measles or the mumps or whatever it is, and it injects it in a small amount into your body, and your body, so let's say, can handle a teaspoon and immediately attacks it, builds up all their defenses, and they're ready. And then when that stuff comes at you, you're good to go. COVID doesn't do that. It starts to work on a DNA molecular level. This has not gone through any kind of FDA testing at all, months at best, and they say, oh, this is all going to work. Well, now you're going to have to get 2 shots. Then Pfizer says, you know what? Some people are catching COVID and dying, and they've had both vaccinations. So, I think we need a booster. And they also have documentation that wasn't released to the public that you'll find on Politico with a conversation of a Pfizer executive talking to a high-level government officials, what they said, and he said this will mean billions of dollars in revenue if we can get the booster shot approved.
Okay, so I mean, sure.
Give me a break.
This might be all about COVID vaccine, and it's just they're blaming it for every vaccine, but. What's your opinion about YouTube saying that they're, no anti-vaxxers are allowed now? It's not just a COVID thing. What are they lying?
No, it's part of the master plan control. They're doing it in schools. They're doing it everywhere. One health system in New York had 2,200 health workers walk off the job today because they refused to take the vaccine. What does that tell you? I mean, those people on the inside, and they're not getting it.
I mean, I agree. It's about control.
Who filled that post? Garbage workers and GIs and stuff?
How are they even getting money? Because I didn't pay for my shot.
Yeah, the government.
The government pays Pfizer.
Okay, so
and GlaxoSmithKline and Johnson & Johnson.
They are making you charge it to insurance, though.
Yeah,
if you have insurance, they force you.
Yeah, but I'm still not paying for it.
Yeah, but your insurance got charged $200 to $400 for you to have that shot.
I have to pay for my insurance regularly, so I mean, I didn't pay any more than I would have.
The insurance companies and the drug manufacturers. They make for strange bedfellows, all right? Just like politics, but they're in it together. Because when they Pfizer
last night at the Major League Baseball game between the Yankees and the Red Sox, Moderna was the biggest advertisement, dead out in center field. Number one advertising spot. Have you ever even heard of Moderna before this vaccine, really? I mean,
no.
Yeah.
Well,
and they're making money. That space took money.
Hey, if you're a soldier, you don't take the vaccine, and you've got a perfect record, and you're a war hero, they're throwing you out. They're telling you that if you're now children under 12, you have to have the vaccine to come to the work here anymore. Or will harass the shit out of you. It's all about gradually taking control of free speech. Well, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is totally under fire, and this is just one weapon.
Vaccines have always been required.
Vaccines. This isn't a vaccine. I wish people would quit calling it that, to tell you the truth.
Well,
I know what you mean.
It does.
well, but I'm saying is, people are getting upset at the fact that, my business is requiring it. Well, you've been even when I went to school, we had to have a card that said we had these vaccines, and if you didn't, you had to go get them. Tetanus,
that's true.
and all these
Right.
other.
That's true, yeah.
It's no different with COVID.
Well, hold it.
Why is that a big deal now?
There's a big difference, and I'll tell you what that is. With all of those traditional vaccines that had been in use for 3 generations, Joe, effective.
It started somewhere, though.
There's not one vaccine here that's over a year old.
And your average vaccine gets tested for 7 years before it's ever given to a pregnant woman.
Yes.
And they're trying to give it
What
to
about the
pregnant
flu?
women.
What about it? It's
The
never
flu vaccine.
They said today, I read another article on Politico,
rushed that, didn't they?
which I trust. They said COVID will never go away. It's like a cold now. It's like the flu. It's always going to keep cycling around. It's never going away.
Yeah.
And now today they're coming out with pills. Have you heard about the new COVID pill?
Ivermectin.
And one leading pharmacologist doctor came out with a report today when he found out what was going on. He said these are no way should these be given to anybody at this point in time, and they are in the active production of billions of them. And that's the next thing. Oh, you don't want the shot? Well, guess what? Just swallow these 2 red pills, and you'll be fine.
Joe, I can relate to what you're saying. Like, if you're vaccinated, it's like, just get the shot already. Like, let's get through this.
Get the shot.
It might keep you from dying or getting
doesn't
seriously
cost you
sick.
any more money to go get it.
Right.
That's not the point.
But the game changes when you're talking about kids.
I don't care if they paid me $1,000 to get the shot. I'm not getting the fucking shot.
Why?
Because it's untested. It's replicant DNA.
So this
What's going to happen?
Hey, so this is not about getting the shot right now. All right, so we're getting a little bit derailed,
but it's relevant.
We got some more media to cover. Okay. So let's go.
So we know then that YouTube is taking down some of the big names in the anti-vaxxer community. What about the smaller channels that are still out there that are still operating?
Yeah, like the free speech.
Yeah, this is a challenge.
This
I
video's
heard the
getting
good
shut down
doctors say that we need to take down, the big
gonna be
disinformation
my
agents.
fault,
But a lot of this smaller anti-vaccine misinformation is still there. Listen, banning all anti-vaccine content, it's not going to be easy.
Okay, so who is the one that is regulating what is quote unquote misinformation?
Yeah, exactly. Because what if it is true information?
So that's the thing. I'm not on either side of the fence here. I want to know who determines what misinformation is and what is saying that,
Fauci. Ever heard of a guy named Fauci?
And right now
it starts there with the CDC with Fauci.
So right now the only way that we can determine what misinformation is Facebook's misinformation algorithm, Google's misinformation algorithm. That's
and some
take it all down.
Some moderator making $15 an hour on YouTube is deciding if this video is good or bad.
Well, no, you're talking about something.
Do they really have the expertise to make that call?
Yeah, that's not. I can't take a word now, but it's not moderated by one entity.
It's called staying on message. Like the DNC, they would create their message for the destruction of Trump for each individual thing that he was supposedly involved in. Every network, I've read a breakdown of it. It's funny. They all said exactly the same sentence leading into the Trump story for the night. It's their talking points. And the same thing is coming from Dr. Fauci, the CDC, and the federal government. So
someone
YouTube,
up top is...
YouTube and Sergey Brin go up and visit Biden all the flipping time.
Yeah.
It's
content moderation problem because anti-vaxxers are very good at evading the platforms. And so we're just going to have to wait to see how well they do.
Are they sneaky?
Why is an anti-vaxxer better at evading a platform than someone else?
Because bad news is always more attractive.
It's not that anti-vaxxers are good at evading a platform or whatever. It's just not something that's been censored before. And it shouldn't. I mean, I don't think it should be censored now, but it's not something that has been censored, so.
I'm going to tell y'all my story, all right? The way I see it as. When I was debating on getting this shot, I was worried that if I go out anywhere, my time was ticking, right? I could, suffer the consequences of a shot that could possibly do something to me in 10 plus years, or I could contract COVID and die.
Yeah. Be in
The
the
Delta
ICU.
variant is out. It's a real thing. My girlfriend's a nurse. She knows all about it. She comes home, tells me about all the people that died that were unvaccinated, tells me the people that were vaccinated got to go home to their families after a couple of weeks, and she's seen it. Like, I have an inside source.
Yeah.
You know, I see all these. I saw so much info. TikTok, YouTube, friends, Facebook, all these different things.
Yes.
Some of it correct information, some of it not. And it's sitting here weighing on me on all these things going on. While I'm also thinking about I might die in 2 weeks if I don't go get this thing, right? And so the misinformation definitely made me take longer to get the vaccination, you know, because I mean, it was a big decision. I was just like, I have severe hypochondria. I don't like drugs in general. I think that they hurt my body more than they actually help. But
well, let me ask you a question.
What I did is I actually did more research on other vaccines, other viruses, and I came to the conclusion that, you know, they all started somewhere. We didn't have these platforms that people could air their opinions or give you misinformation. You would, you know, your parents would take you to the doctor and you'd get the vaccination. There was no questions asked. Nothing.
Yeah,
There was none of this shit.
You should be able to make that decision for yourself, though,
I
based
just-
on
and I
information
did.
from both sides.
Yeah.
I did,
it-
but
And
how-
they would like to
how
remove
do you
the entire
determine-
other side of that information from you.
How do you determine what is real and what isn't?
That's the thing. If someone
it's-
starts to mute one side, you don't know yourself what's real and what isn't
Well,
real.
We are not
You only-
idiots.
you're
We can
only-
make that decision
Well,
for
muting
ourselves.
One thing
muting
is-
one
What's good
side
and what's
or
bad.
keeping one side on.
Here's a reality, all right? Polio was cured by research and testing of drugs for a long time, and they finally said, okay, let's start giving it to the kids, and polio has pretty much been eradicated. This thing for the measles, the mumps, chicken pox, those were all tested out the ass before anybody could take them. It was a different time. Now, smallpox is held in laboratories. They don't have a vaccine for that shit. It'll take your butt out in about a day and a half.
Okay.
So for me, I'm more fearful. Most of the things we all do are fear-driven. That's just the way life is, and it's in our genes. I am more fearful of having an experimental, genetically based liquid shot into my body that mingles with my own DNA, and it's not a real vaccine, and what it could do to me down the road than I am when this thing was at its height, and I'm washing my hands with alcohol in my car. I'm smart enough to keep my fingers out of my nose and my eyes and my friggin' mouth and socially distance. So I'm on that side of it. And they can experiment on anybody they want.
So
but
You're pretty close to Brooks right now. So,
So the thing is, it just boils down to we need to know what the real and the right information is.
we
and when
don't. They're making it up.
No,
to
some
make
people
money.
need to. Some people are going to take the vaccine. Some people have the right to take the vaccine, and
that's right.
Some people need to. Some people are on the fence and need to know: should I take it or should I
And
not?
they should
take
be able to
it?
discuss
And
it.
they should be able to go on the internet, go to
I
YouTube,
totally
and
agree.
find all the information.
Or go to
totally
the
agree.
freespeechforum.com and you can discuss it
Yeah.
all you
I
want.
totally
and it won't be
agree.
censored.
I think posting correct information from doctors, like some sort of like
God.
verified actual doctors, would help.
I
Do
mean,
you
But
not
you got all these
realize-
guys on here, and you said that you maybe didn't even go to YouTube to like see that misinformation.
I mean,
But your friends and family and other people, they did, and then they relay that information to you.
I've been everywhere on the internet to learn about what I know about, and this isn't even about COVID-19, just for the record. This is about everything. But I've been all over the internet to find information about the vaccines. The fact of the matter is, unless you have gone through, medical school for a and you've been or dealt with a specific virus or illness, you don't know everything. You need to be able to go. You need to be able to go to public sources that don't cost money. That you don't have to. You don't have to go to a doctor. You should be able to go to the internet and look stuff up and find this person's opinion and this person's opinion and this one and combine them all and make your own opinion. That's how you do everything else in this world. Yeah. This is not just vaccines. This is everything. I mean, your political opinions, your favorite video games, how to where you want to live. It's opinions from everyone coming together. And if you limit some of them, that's where the problem comes.
Well,
some of it is going to be misinformation.
One thing too, and this kind of contradicts with what Bob's saying.
Good luck with that.
About the test. Right, the test, and it's been rushed and all that stuff. One thing that I do believe is that our tech is 10,000 times better than what it was a year ago.
That's bullshit. There's no. What do you mean 10,000 times better? Our tech. Not one of these vaccines is over a year old.
What
the hell are you talking about?
I'm saying that
we suddenly turned into
you're talking about old vaccines. You said
I'm
they
not.
had 3 to 7 years.
No, these are on the current FDA rules. You have to test a vaccine for a minimum of 3 to 5 years before they'll even let it go into clinical trial.
Right, but there's new machines, new tech, new things going
on
that can make that process faster.
I agree with you a little bit. I don't have enough.
How do you test a vaccine on 100,000 people faster with new machines? Tell me that, Joe.
That's true.
New machines.
I will say the difference between
last year. You can't make up for time.
The difference between last year and this year isn't that much. However, the difference between the 1960s and now is different. But you can't go build a computer and then say, here's 150,000 real human beings.
The bottom line is the FDA has not changed its regulations in over 50 friggin' years. They're still the same. That's a fact.
And don't forget, this isn't just about adults. That myocarditis is real, right? The swelling of the heart, and this is going to be given to kids. Yeah. And they're trying to push it on kids. It came out in California this week. They're going to make every kid that attends school, by Christmas, they want everyone to be vaccinated if it's FDA approved. So they're trying to push this FDA approval and then push it on your kids. And is that right? Kids are the lowest.
To go away. That's all I care about.
Guess what? Do you know what's the most?
It's not going away. It's just
go away, COVID.
It's going to keep mutating.
Do you know what Switzerland and Norway did, Joe?
They got more tech.
Last Saturday,
they
said, "Screw it. We're done with this shit.
COVID's
Throw your
gone.
mask away. The shots. We're living our lives. We're going back to living. And if a few people get taken out, people die from the flu every damn year and pneumonia. We've had it. We're done. They quit. Now, do you know what the most vaccinated country on the face of the planet is? Tell me that.
Sweden.
Israel. Have you heard about their stats?
They're all dying.
In the last 3 months, more people in Israel that have had the 2 shots are dying from COVID than the people that are unvaccinated. That's a fact. And nobody knows what to do about it. The media is burying the hell out of it.
Does Israel have new tech like we do?
Oh, gosh. This is definitely getting taken down.
Yeah. So
this has been fun. Great 24 minutes of my life so far.
Out.
Yeah. Okay, guys, please give us a like and a subscribe. If this video is still up and YouTube hasn't taken it down. Yeah.
I want to say one last thing is that we have a coworker, he lost his grandmother and his mother in the last month from COVID. And he would like to tell you, he's part of the forum, that he wishes more than anything that they had just gotten vaccinated. Because who knows, they might both still be here.
Yeah.
So,
they might have had, and that's the way I saw it. I might have 10 more years, but at least it's 10 more years.
Yeah.
Well, just to show you how the insanity continues, Merck's COVID-19 pill coming out right now could carry serious safety concerns, scientists, plural, warns, and it can cause cancer.
Like Zantac.
Everything can cause cancer in California.
For years.
Not all I'm saying is it's going to continue, and there's too much money being made. You've got to look at the criminal factor. The United States government is the largest criminal organization on the face of the planet right now. Totally corrupt, from Joe Biden on down.
Bob?
If you can't find this video anymore, we're going to put it on Rumble and on the freespeechforum.com. So come check it out there.
Guys,
Peace out, Girl Scouts.
We want to see you back here.
Hey,
so make sure to like and subscribe.
Write me I'll be in federal prison. Please send me some letters and
Lock him
cards.
up.
Let me know you still love me out there.
See you later, guys. Bye.